Hey, it's John Benson with Sales Copy Secrets, back with another sales copy breakdown because you guys love those VSL sales letters. Today we're going to do the number one offer on ClickBank. And why the hell is this offer making millions of dollars when the book is 20 years old? Okay, this book is 20 years old. No kidding. It's like almost as old as I am. It's 20. It's crazy. And it's making a lot of money because I think what's going on with, I'm going to show you this, is my friend Adam did this sales letter, and I think he did it for Brad, the original author, and he's selling it as an affiliate, but I'm not 100% sure of that. But it is currently the number one offer in ClickBank. Now, how did I find that out? Well, I'm over here. Check this out. I'm over here at ClickBank. I go to weight loss. I click on the weight loss tab. I scroll down here, and I can see right here, number one offer on ClickBank is Eat, Stop, Eat. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. And we're going to break down why this letter is working as well as it is working. So let's look at this from the very top of the letter. Okay, in just one day, very first thing, in just one day, this simple strategy frees you from complicated diet rules and eliminates rebound weight gain. Okay, it's the one day part that just captures your imagination. And in one day, it's like, what do you mean, a diet that lasts one day? Well, they're talking about finding out the information in one day. This simple strategy frees you in just one day. And one day it takes to read the book. You're free from that. Very clever way of introducing it. Notice the page is not exactly high level. It's not super fancy. It's pretty basic. It looks like somebody who did it in 2006. That's on purpose because you don't want it to look too fancy. Now, really cool thing. They got a dynamic data here. And then Adam Steer, epilogue by the author of the book. Very interesting, okay? So this starts off with a very common, this is all over the place right now, and it's been, this is one of the most common leads that there is. If you're ready to finally get XYZ, then you're going to love this story. That's it. It's such a simple lead. The lead of this story is just very, very simple. And it transitions right from the lead to an immediate series of stories. So it's not typical. A lot of leads working, if you're ready to lose weight, or you're tired of feeling this, blah, 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 blah. There's this amazing thing that's happening. There's a new enzyme discovered, whatever. Adam doesn't do any of this. He goes into a personal story. Now, this is a lot of people are calling this direct response 2.0 when it's really more about the person writing the story, writing the letter. It's less about them. But I want you to notice what Adam is doing. It's not it's not hyperbolic. It's not really over the top copy. I want you to notice what he's doing here. I'm going to break this down very carefully. I used to follow diet gurus like a lost sheep, and that all ended over a juicy hamburger in 2009. Okay, that's really what I meant. I mean, that's not kidding when I said this is 20 years old. Okay, check this out. Picture of the burger. Obviously, it's a pattern interrupt. What is this? This is a pattern interrupt I taught back in 2006 by me with the VSL. Okay, what does a cheeseburger have to do with losing weight? It's basically the same thing worded in a different way. And he helped me dig out of a deep pit. Now we transition from him. Maybe you felt this too. You start out strong, confident this is your time. You pick a diet, you dig in. At first, this thing's doable. Then it gets confusing. You get busy. All of a sudden, you're fighting endless food restrictions. Notice that there's nothing in here that's compliant issues. You know, there's nothing in here about losing X amount of pounds or anything like that. It's really quite compliant. Every meal is a mental battle. What foods to eat? It's exhausting. I'd go out with my friends. I'd watch them enjoy meals. Now, look at it. You get busy. You did this. I would go out with my friends. I would watch them enjoy meals. I would break this down. Whatever it is, something knocks you off the plan. Look, Adam is just going backwards and forwards. You. It's just a lot of I and you. And that helps get that feeling of you're talking to a person. And I think that's why this letter is working so well, because it's a little bit different. Like we said, we call this technique direct response 2.0, basically. Now, we're going to go on here. You tell yourself you'll be back at tomorrow, but it never comes. Okay, so all of this is really straightforward. And then we're going to get into the next part that really causes this to work. And that is the problem section. I'm scrolling down here to the problem section of this sales page. Okay, Weight Loss 101, and they do a lot of teaching. It's a surprisingly large amount of teaching. They're going to go into a lot of different things. I'm going to show you the couple things that they do cover that I think is pretty interesting. So he talks about things that, first of all, dieting is not natural. The body thinks it's not, people have heard this before, but your body, when you diet, you go into like this starvation mode. You know, again, it's not your fault. Wasn't my fault. Notice what he's doing here. It wasn't my fault. Just like it's not your fault either. It's a conversation between two people. Very interesting here. Now, calories, the biggest lie. To lose weight, you must eat below a certain threshold of calories. Okay. Notice he's got the list underlined and highlighted, threshold. We're going to start pulling out some unique problems. Okay. These are kind of like negative hooks at the threshold of calories, if you will, but they go into a definition of calories, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then after they do this, they pivot into the solutions in a very interesting way. And here in the solution, to scroll down a little bit further, you never have to count a single calorie. It's a threshold of food. This is the actual positive hook, if you will. The real positive hook is intermittent fasting, but people have heard that by now. When Brad came out with a book 20 years ago, people hadn't heard of it. So it's a little bit different. And so now we're talking a threshold of food, and you don't have to do it every day. Basically, Adam is describing intermittent fasting, which most people have heard the term, in ways that other people might not immediately, it doesn't jump out at you, okay? You don't have to do it every day. It's a threshold of food. You don't have to count a single calorie. It feels more energy than folks half your age at the deepest levels of your cells, okay? And they pestilently spread out throughout here. But here we get into another sort of positive hook, cycle of consumption. These are just different terms people haven't heard before. Calories come in waves. And so you need to be in this cycle and understand the cycle. And then we get to one of the biggest positives of all here. Now, he's using a genetic code that unlocks permanent weight loss here. So now we're going to get into a little bit of metaphor, and it's third down, football, evolution, that kind of thing. That's not really where I'm wanting to focus on, because that's not what the real hook is. The real hook is down here. And this is what I want you to take a look at. The real hook and the real solution is you never go a single day without enjoying a completely normal meal. So wait, what? And start being hungry all the time? Like what? Yes. Okay, a little bit NLP here, but check this out. This is the one that I wanted to really point out. If you can stay busy for 7 to 8 hours, you can lose all the weight you want. Now, I found that subheadline very intriguing. And this, I think if they did a heat map on this, I'd be surprised if people didn't stop right here. Because this and this are the keys to making this letter work, other than the stuff we've already talked about, which is the conversational direct response 2.0 thing. If you can stay busy for 7 to 8 hours, well, who are they talking to? Their audience are stay-at-home moms, working mothers. Most people are busy 7 to 8 hours. You can lose all the weight you want. Well, that's kind of a weird way of looking at it, right? So what he's saying is simply extending your normal overnight fast to once or twice a week eliminates the need to diet. So extending what you do already, this is the key. You're already doing this. And all you got to do is basically stay busy for another 7 to 8 hours, and then you can lose all the weight you want. You don't even have to diet. Very, very powerful hook there. Okay. So tons of credentials, because by now the intermittent fasting has had a ton of peer-reviewed studies. So now we're going to come in here with the sales bullets here. This is the last thing I want to cover. The sales bullets. Give me 24 hours and I'll give you X. Great language here. This is language, I believe, taken from Gary Halbert, one of the world's greatest copywriters. He's unfortunately passed, but one of the greatest copywriters in my lifetime for sure. Give me 24 hours. Again, back to this day thing that we talked about with the headline. And I'll give you an increase in your fat burning hormone, control of your hunger hormone. Now, that is a bold freaking claim. I don't know if that would pass compliance. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how much cold traffic they're running to this, but wow, give me 24 hours. But this is what's really interesting. If you read this, they're talking about how long it takes to read the book, how long it takes to start your body into this process. Give me 24 hours of this intermittent fasting. Increase your fat burning hormone, control your hunger hormone, decrease your stress hormone, burn more belly fat. Notice the bullets: fat burning hormone, burn more belly fat, metabolism and energy, reduce risk, testosterone. Bullets bolded with the words that you want to pay attention to, and of course, much more. Now, this right here, I believe, is why the offer is working so well. We'll conclude by one more thing. This is the actual author, Brad. And I want you to scroll down here and just take a look at this. Notice the proof that Adam includes in this letter. Decline of GH with age. This makes this, because people scan this, they don't read it very carefully. This has nothing to do with Brad's book, except that these are the effects of fasting. And what happens in this case with decline of GH and growth hormone increase during the Eat, Stop, Eat protocol. Now, I'm almost positive that this is not a study done with their specific book, but it is their specific protocol of you eat, here's how you intermittent fast. And these studies are probably based on intermittent fasting. I don't know that for sure, but this is really powerful here. So really, really powerful. So if you can do stuff like that, you're going to get a lot more conversions on your page. They've got the testimonials spread out throughout the page. Notice the quality of the page. It's not supposed to be fancy. It's supposed to look like this. And then you just keep scrolling down. And again, you see more proof. Fat burning biofactor number 1, insulin sensitivity. So as much of this stuff as you can put into your offer, the better. And I'm going to end this video with this because again, the 24 hours, give me a day. It's such a powerful thing. Give me a day. It's not just a day to read the book. It's a guarantee. You'll know by tomorrow night that it's working. Super important. Eat your normal evening meal tonight. Then right after dinner, start applying these simple instructions you'll find on page 116. Does not get better copy than this. Simple instructions, page 116. Then tomorrow night after eating meal, I want you to answer these questions. Do you feel this? Is this? Is this? Then the next morning, I want you to weigh yourself. Do you weigh 1 to 3 pounds lighter? Okay. Well, most people would weigh 1 to 3 pounds lighter the next day because they've simply reduced their water weight, right? But he's just asking, he's not guaranteeing you. He's just asking the question. Wait one more week. Do you see that your weight has dropped another 3 to 5 pounds? Okay. If you answered yes to most of these questions, it's working. This right here is some of the best copy I've seen. Now, I've done copy very, very similar to this. We talk about this like what's called a test guarantee, a quiz guarantee. You take this, I've done this many times where you give them a checklist. You say, fill out this 5-point checklist. And if any of these 5 points are valid, then hey, this is for you. This is working. That's exactly what Adam did here. Did it in a really brilliant job. So that is Eat, Stop, Eat. That's why the letter I think is working. See what you can apply to your own sales letters. Go to it. Get to work.